Hey everybody, it's Mike Young, lifestyle nutritionist with aPlantBasedDiet.org, and we are here for our next chapter, chapter 32, which is on poop or bowel movements. I know it's the shittiest chapter we're going to have here, and actually I may have another one. It may not be the only one on crap. Actually it's definitely not the only one on crap, but it's maybe the only one on actual real crap, because crap also stands for calorie rich and processed. So we could do a chapter on that too. But poop, let's get right into it. It's very important. I cannot tell you how important it is to monitor this. And a lot of people who are talking about health and longevity, they don't really get into this. It's kind of a messy, dirty subject, and nobody likes to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. There's nothing more important than this, really, I think, to tell if you're on the right path, because for some reason, I've always been very regular. Not to say that I've been really good with my diet and my lifestyle and my habits, because I've been getting better as I get older, because I'm 52 when recording this video. However, I will say that it's incredibly important that you are going number 2 at least twice would be good, at least once a day. Go number 2 at least once a day is the rule of thumb. 1 time a day, every single day. As long as you do, then I can say with relative certainty that you are doing a lot of things correctly, because in order for that to happen, a lot of things to be working in just the right manner. And from my opinion, I'm going to say the best time to go is actually in the morning, right after you wake up, because your body, rests and rebuilds and flushes out, cleanses out at night while you're asleep. So really the best time to go is first thing in the morning. So I tell you, I was in a life pattern for many, many years. I mean, decades and decades, where every single morning when I got up, the first thing I had to do is I had to run to the bathroom and go number 2. It doesn't seem to be as urgent anymore. I'm not sure why. I actually think that may be a stress thing as well. I think in the past I was under a lot more stress, had a lot more things going on, and that tends, at least for me, it tends to make my body want to flush itself out even more. I don't know, maybe because it knows it needs more energy, it needs to work more efficiently. Because a lot of the diseases and issues that people have, especially as they get older, believe it or not, are the result of stuff staying in your large and small intestines, in your colon, just crap that's literally in there that should be getting out, but it's not, and it's rotting, and it's causing all kinds of issues in there. So I would say most important takeaway from this chapter is you should go at least once a day. That should be a goal. And in order to do it, of course, you need to have fiber. We've talked about fiber. We're going to keep talking about fiber. It's only in whole and minimally processed plants. You don't eat stuff where the fiber is removed. You don't eat oils. You don't drink juices all the time. I mean, a juice cleanse or juice fast, I understand, but not as a part of your regular diet, because you're not getting that fiber. Not to mention with juices, that's glycemic index gets really high. So we're not going to go into that in this chapter. What are some other things you should be concerned about, though? With number 2, with poop, with shit, with crap, what should you be concerned about? I know with me, I can tell you, just because that body is so sensitive, some of the things I've noticed over the years, there's 2 things that besides just the frequency that you need to know about. Now, of course, I'm not talking about diarrhea here. And if you have diarrhea, there's something else really bad going on that's not going to be covered in this chapter. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not in the medical system. I'm not here to diagnose or treat any diseases. You go to your own physician for that. But let me tell you, in terms of what's going on, what are some variables in there? Even if you're going once a day, or at least once a day, what are some things to look out for? Well, I'd say number 1 is blood in your poop, or anything to do with you going number 2. If you see some blood associated with that, I mean, it could be many, many things. And again, see your medical doctor about that if you're concerned. If you see anything, go see your doctor. But in my case, I will tell you, I think for a period of time that was happening to me. And I started really wondering, what the heck is going on? Do I have cancer? Is this the end? And this was like 20, but this is probably like 20 or 30 years ago. All right. During the time this was happening, I was still an adult, and I was under a lot of stress. And I thought, well, maybe it's just a stress level, But also I was eating a lot of pasta. Pasta is like a real big favorite of mine. And by the way, a shortcut on pasta, I should do a chapter on that. It's got to be whole wheat and organic. All right. If you're gonna eat, if it's gonna be wheat anyway, you can make it out of other things nowadays. You've got all kinds of other pastas. But I was eating wheat pasta, and I was eating non-organic pasta. Well, the wheat was not whole wheat. It was refined wheat, and it was not organic, and I was eating a lot of it. And I tend to think that I have a gluten sensitivity. I don't have full-blown Crohn's, and even Crohn's, I think the diet can do amazing things with Crohn's if you do the diet specifically. We're talking about this book is all about doing things hyper specific. You have to do it just the way your body wants it. But with me, I think what was happening was I was eating lots of wheat, lots of non-organic wheat, and then I didn't even have to move over to whole wheat. All right. I was just doing the refined, like the white pasta. But when I went to organic, that disappeared, believe it or not, for me. I found by a number of trial and error things that for me, the issue was it had to be organic. And that follows along with the gluten sensitivity. A lot of the stuff with gluten, a lot of stuff even with celiacs, maybe just a lack of eating fully organic food that is not grown with chemicals. And I know a lot of people don't talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because it relates directly to my own experience and what I had to do to solve and fix this issue for good. I don't have this issue. It's been decades. And like I said, I thought when I first started that I was dying and I had cancer or something. But again, it's just a gluten sensitivity. Gluten sensitivity can manifest itself in many, many ways. And in my case, it's blood in your stool, basically. Not a lot, just a little bit, but you notice it when you have even a little bit, because I never see anything there. You should never see anything like that. But if this pertains to you and you're just happen to be flipping through the internet and watch this channel, happen to catch this episode, well, it could be gluten sensitivity. So not just the pasta, it could be anything gluten, anything wheat that's non-organic. Switch it up for organic or get rid of the wheat altogether. My guess is the organic alone will fix it, because I've never had to give up wheat. Never had to give it up. Always still eating it. It's just organic now. And I can handle a little bit of non-organic, but I can't handle non-organic every single time, every single day, just about, if I'm really into pasta, that's what I was doing. So what about another factor I can tell you about? It's really just two factors, right? That's one, gluten sensitivity. You'll notice that in your stool. The other thing is, for me, it's been very obvious, because I have certain things that I really like. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of detail here to kind of explain to you why and how I noticed this thing also, just like the last example I gave you, which maybe you grossed out with, but you got to talk about these things. You got to analyze these things. Your poop, if you think about it, it's basically just a pass-through system. It goes in your mouth, goes down your stomach, goes into your intestines, and passes right out. So it's going through every single part of your digestive system, and you can tell a lot from looking at it. I'm not even getting into like putting this under a microscope or anything. I'm just saying, look at it as it comes out. Look at how you have to clean up too afterwards. That's what I'm getting into with this next one. This may be even grosser. But I would say that a good sign, at least for me, that I'm eating too high of a percentage of calories from fat is the actual consistency of the poop. If it's generally, I don't know, if it's general, let's put it this way, if it's easy to clean up, after I go number two, if it's easy to clean up, in almost every case, it's because I've been eating a low percentage of calories from fat consistently in my diet. And even if I have a cheat meal, even just one cheat meal won't really change that. But if I start to cheat a bunch and I start to raise up that level so that the average thing I'm eating is just a much higher of a percentage of calories from fat, it is a hard time to clean up everything down there. I'm telling you, the fat just makes everything, it doesn't hold together as well. It kind of smears and it sticks to everything. I'm just telling you, this is with me. I have a feeling it's probably with you too, if you've never really noticed or taken the time to look into this stuff. But this is another clue, okay? I'm giving you these clues because the whole idea is to live your best life and to have the best time. And, if it's a pain in the ass, literally, to clean up your poop every time you go, you're not going to enjoy life, and your body is, again, telling you you're doing something wrong. Just like if there's blood in there, your body's telling you you're doing something wrong. What are you doing? All right, that's the question. And what it comes back to is that diet, the diet that I'm talking about, the really hyper, super specific diet. The minute you start to stray from that, you start to see problems. I mean, I wish that the body wasn't really like this and we could just do whatever the hell we wanted all the time, but we can't. And you see it because everyone's sick. As we talked about, I mean, like 80% of all medical issues are due to people's lifestyle choices, which is almost all the food. So 20% are traumatic or other issues, freak things, okay? But for the poop, you've got to analyze it. You've got to monitor it. You've got to see what is going out, and it should be on a daily basis. You should be able to really pinpoint and do some work, do some trial and error like I did, and figure out what's going on. And it's amazing because I have a feeling if I described this stuff, went into the sick care system, okay, and described all this stuff, I don't think that anybody would have ever reached the conclusions that I reached and have actually fixed the problem. It's not just reaching the conclusion, it's actually fixing the problem. So, this is how it works with me. This is how it plays out in my body. I don't know how it might play out in your body, but I have a feeling it's similar, or maybe you're much more sensitive to certain things and much less sensitive to other things. I don't know. I mean, not everybody's the same. Everybody's different. So write down in your experience, actually in the comments below, how many times a day do you go poop? Write it down. And if it's not every day, you're going to have to put 0. All right. The goal is to poop every single day. It's okay to miss a day every once in a long while, but tell me how many times a day let me do this. How many times a week do you go? So it should be number 7 if you go every single day. Put that in there, number 7. And let me know too, any of these things that you may have seen in your own experience, looking at number 2 after it got out of your body before you flushed it. And anything along with that, I'd like to hear about other experiences, because what I'm telling you, like I said, these are issues that I have. The blood thing was solved decades ago. All right. The too high of a percentage of calories from fat is an ongoing thing. I don't think it'll ever end, because my body is just that sensitive. And as we know, for other reasons, if you've been watching the book, the V-book here, watching the other chapters, listening to them, you know that too high of a percentage of calories from fat causes so many issues. Of course, there's weight gain. That's not even a major important one as far as I'm concerned, because the bigger ones are type 2 diabetes, which is a fat disease, and of course type 3, which is Alzheimer's and dementia. And of course, usually with the fats, you're not getting the optimal fats. You're getting all the saturated fats as well, and then you're getting up with heart disease, strokes, heart attacks, all these other things. It's terrible. So let that be a sign for you. See how things are going down there every day, hopefully. And if you're not pooping every day, you've got to eat more fiber. There could be other things that you need to do as well. We'll have chapters on these, but fiber is it. You've got to eat enough, otherwise you're not going to poop every day. Your body is a machine. Your body is like self-diagnosing. If you're paying attention, just pay attention. So I look forward to reading your experiences there in the comments. Learning how many days out of 7 you poop. Put 7 out of 7. If I see a 7, that's every day. That's awesome. And even if it's more, if it's 14, that's even better. Okay. I know then you have to spend a lot of time on the toilet, and sometimes I do if you're doing like some type of a cleanse or anything where you're eating super well, and usually a lot of fruits too, like astringent fruits or juices will flush stuff out of your colon, which is a good thing. But again, not part of the regular daily diet, but it's a good thing to do on a regular basis. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like the channel here, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you got something valuable out of this, and of course hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye-bye.